What's good, family? Peace, love, authenticity. Hope y'all been taking care of yourselves. Hope y'all been staying authentic to yourselves. Because if you're not being authentic to yourself, you are being programmed. You're following a what you call it? We all programmed. Sorry about this. We all programmed, but you are programmed into Saturn's cube. You are programmed. I mean, look at this is what we're talking about today. Look at the cross. When you unfold a cube, it turns into a cross. I mean, that's symbolism. Symbolism, stage 1. All right, so we got this notebook. We got this notebook. We got this notebook. And we're gonna be talking about, sorry, I'm just waking up, so my ego need to catch up. But we're gonna be talking about Genesis chapter 1. So the Bible, we're gonna talk about the Bible. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 7. And we'll be talking about contradictions and fallacies. So I'll just be reading it and I'll be like giving my peace of mind, giving my contradictions and my perspective. So if you get mad over my perspective, I'm neither right nor wrong. But if you get mad over my perspective, then that shows something about you and your ego got triggered. So, you know what I'm saying? But we'll get straight into it. We're going to be reading from this right here. You feel me? Genesis chapter 1. Verse 1. It says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." Okay. What is the beginning if it's just the title? What is the beginning if we were never here? What is the beginning if we are experiencing this 3D simulation, but we are also in the spiritual? Sorry about this hand sign, by the way. I keep doing it, but it's just how I'm trying to articulate my thoughts. Because if you have had a near-death experience, if you have had an out-of-body experience, you would know what I'm talking about. You are able to articulate the thoughts that you could never think about before. You are able to jump out of the box, jump out of the cube. What is that saying called? Squaring the circle. Squaring the circle is squaring the soul, squaring the mindset. Same thing as Jesus on the crucifix, Jesus on the cross. You know what I'm saying? This story is about us as consciousness. This story is about, I'm good. I'm about to hit the gym. But this story is about us and the crucifixion of our consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Really think about it. This illusionary world is temporary. God would never call itself God. God would never call itself God. It's literally a definition. A person who calls himself God or thinks of themselves higher than you with that's, I was gonna say with ill intention, or with intention of thinking of themselves higher than you in a manner that is you could say malevolent, but there is no, so we'll just go with the definition. God complex. God complex is the definition of what I just read. God complex, okay? And that person is fully, or this deity, or whatever you want to call it, this story, this person in the story is fully in their ego. Just by that first line, if you cannot see that, if you cannot articulate that, if you cannot see that, I mean, it's just common sense, right? I'm still learning about this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm still learning, but I'm able to see that. It's crazy. Fully ego. The more you know yourself, the more you can read others. And this story, I can already see it. People worship their alter ego. People worship their alter ego, right? You know what I'm saying? So every other person is a reflection of you. The only thing that divides us is the ego. So when you look at someone, you're looking at your alter ego. So people worship their alter ego. People worship an unconscious title. It's just crazy. All right. So I guess okay, so I didn't do like chapter 1, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4. I didn't do every single one. I just the ones that stuck out to me. But I only got to chapter 1, verse 7. All right. Because I was looking at this and I wrote 1.3 instead of 1.2. And I'm like, anyways. Right. So now we're going to start calling God Lucifer, because only Lucifer would have a God complex, right? And Lucifer said, "Let there be light," and there was lights. And this is, I was recording a video before this, so I don't know if I said this in this one, but I was saying, it has been stated by Anthony Pike, a 33rd degree Freemason, that Lucifer is the light bearer. And this is in the book Morals and Dogma, and it is, I don't know if you could say awarded to, but it is given to the 32nd degree Freemason, at least from what I've read and what I've researched. I'm still researching, I'm still learning, but my intuition guides me, and my intuition does not lie. Intuition does not lie, okay? When you start to doubt yourself, that's when you get those lies. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that one is crazy. That shit is crazy. Okay. Chapter 1, verse 4. And Lucifer saw the light, that it was good, and Lucifer divided the light from the darkness. Okay, here we go. How is good good if good was never good to itself? You know what I'm saying? Contradictions, contradictory thoughts. Is good bad if bad thinks bad is good? Life is about perspective and what resonates with yourself. Like I said, I said this in the last video. Walking that thin line between good and bad, good and evil, if that's what you want to call it. But these things aren't. These things are just titles. So you have to walk this. You have to walk right here. All right? I said. Okay. And then I said, what is light and dark if we are 0.0036%? It might be 0.00036%. I may be wrong on that, but this is what I wrote, 0.0036%. We are 0.0036 or 0.00036%. Blinds. That's how much of the light spectrum we are able to see with these eyes. So these eyes will lie to you every time. Every single time they will lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Just like how I'm learning about inverted celebrities, and how most celebrities are inverted, and how even individuals around us are inverted and have been lied to by their parents or their guardians, or they know about it and they're not telling nobody. I don't know. Not me though. Not me though. Look at my skeletal structure. You know what I'm saying? I already showed this before. But you see? Hey, not me though. I'm being authentic to myself. And if you are inverted, be authentic to yourself. I mean, what else? Why would you be something that you're not? Love oneself. That's my clothing brand. Oneself. I might add love to it. But it's actually called One Self Rise. Like, I want to help y'all rise to enlightenment. But still in the works. Still in the works. And I said, this is a simulation. So Earth is a simulation. This 3D is a simulation. Everything's a simulation. Chapter 1, verse 5. And Lucifer called it day, and darkness he called night. And the evening, my bad, I got it. Flip the page. In the evening, and I don't say this word, so I'm gonna say rising, were the first day. Okay, so this is more unconscious titles. We are energy and wouldn't put a label on time or create the time spell in the first place. Okay, so contradict that as well, because energy did create the time spell, but as consciousness, as we have the connection to the Almighty Creator, we would not create a time spell if we're living in union. The only reason why you would create a time spell is to enslave consciousness. Okay, yeah, that's all I got for that one. Now, chapter 1, verse 6. And Lucifer said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And so I'm going to read this next one too. Verse 7. And Lucifer made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. First off, God would never speak to you. God would never speak unless it was within. God would never physically speak to you. Physically speak. This is spell casting. You can make someone smile. You can make someone sad. You can make someone happy. You could speak death into someone. You could speak life into someone. If you call it, God would never speak unless it was within. If you call it a title, it's still Luciferian. Yeah, that's right. If you call God a title, it's still Luciferian. It is. So really, at the end of the day, I mean, you would call Almighty Creator but it's about walking that thin line, because the ego is satanic, but spiritually it is representation of God. But spiritually, we are not spiritually. Physically, we are demonic. We are. Look around us. You know what I'm saying? Then I said, okay, so I said, if you call it a title, it's still Luciferian. But I don't believe in this God. I would never call it God. My Almighty Creator has no name. But if it did, I am that I am. Right? Okay, now, this is the last part. And it's very interesting because of how common sense this is, of how common this you think this would be, right? Okay, so let me read it. Which God does the dollar bill talk about? In God we trust, on the back of the dollar bill, right? If God created the firmament with waters above and below, what is the globe theory? NASA? Not a space agency. Common sense. And there are people who practice Christianity, better name Satanism, who believe in the globe theory. And I wrote, you gonna see it? Sad. That's sad. But you can't do nothing but save yourself. Honestly. And I'll give y'all some extra little tidbits of some other shit I wrote. But look at my notebook, by the way. My girl bought me that. Yeah. Shout out to you. Anyways. Some things I wrote. So next video, when I have more time to create this and put this together, I'm gonna be including screenshots, other proverbs, gematria, symbolisms. I would like to include the book of Enoch because I'm reading that right now as well. It's not, like I said, I'm on a time crunch. Like, even me recording this is putting the limit on my time, but hey, because I gotta be somewhere. But it's all good. Spreading knowledge. Okay, so I wrote, How is there hell if there is no hell for Satan? And so when you look around us, this is the real hell. Like I said earlier, the ego is satanic, but it's about this simulation is a mind game of unconsciousness. It is. So you need to learn to enjoy every experience. You don't need to, but I'm just speaking for myself. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm just giving you game. You need to learn how to you need to learn how to decipher when the ego is talking, when the spirit is talking, when the soul is talking. And that can be a challenge. That can honestly be a challenge. It takes work. So like, let's say someone walked up to you and I don't know, just like any example. Like someone walked past you and I seen them. They walked past behind the car and I seen them and I go like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? That's my ego. But spiritually, my soul, my spirit understands that I'm still talking about this video. I'm still talking about exposing the Bible, exposing Genesis chapter 1, right? Okay. Number 2, worshiping an unconscious man-made title is ignorant and satanic. God would never call himself God. That God is satanic. We already talked about that. Number 3, Luke chapter 17, verse 21. See, I don't know if that's how you say it, but I'm going to just say 17-21. Right? The kingdom of God is within you. If the kingdom of God is within you, why are you still worshiping a man at that? A deity playing a man, a character. Like, this shit is insane. And wouldn't you think about it? If there's waters above the firmament and below, wouldn't that make God a woman? If feminine trees, if feminine energy produces, I was thinking about trees, if crops are feminine, if women create birth, and if women can create birth without a man, do your research. How is God a man? Then lastly, I already covered this. The story of Jesus is about me and you, how consciousness was crucified. Oh, I have one more after this. But yes, it's about us. The whole story is about us and how we how we gain Christ consciousness, how we gain control over the ego. Yeah, I already talked about it, but I will talk about it more in the next video because there will definitely be more to talk about. And number 6, how can a sinner sin if a sinner, I guess I didn't finish that. Okay, this is kind of like what I said earlier, but how can a sinner sin if sinning isn't a sin to a sinner? You know what I'm saying? And if you are confused about that, if you are confused about when I say those things, really like write it out and talk to yourself about it. Because when you talk to yourself about it, you are able to articulate your thoughts in such a higher manner than you would if you were just sitting here thinking about it in your head. Like, how can a sinner sin if a sinner never... Yeah. How can a sinner sin if sinning isn't a sin to a sinner? What is that? You know? But hey, I gotta hit this sauna. I gotta get ready for what I gotta do. Check out this copper bracelet. Hey, it's just fire. Anyways, just want to show y'all. I love y'all. Take care of yourselves. And we're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep building every single day. We're gonna keep building every single day. Every single day. Because all we got is time. Alright, I love y'all. Peace. I'm out.